Well, my first experience really was as an employee, actually. I'd only heard about it before I started and wanted to try it, but never had the opportunity. So then I ended up, starting here as a brewer, and my first week here, the brewery was packaging, or we were packaging Chocolate Rain, and that was incredible. Like, seriously, hadn't tasted anything like that before, and really blew me away. I've ended up tasting a lot of Black Tuesday since then. One thing I do really love about this beer is that it absorbs barrel character so well, and you can put it into any barrel and it's gonna let that, the Black Tuesday is there as the backbone, but it lets that barrel character shine at the same time. So right now I'm drinking the Madeira version of Black Tuesday from the Black Tuesday Barrel Series box. This beer, pretty incredible, spent 18 months in Madeira barrels. So you definitely get a lot of that character. It smells like, it's what I expect from a Black Tuesday, but I feel like the oak hit's a little bit different. It's not what you get from a bourbon barrel. You get a really nice vanilla, but you obviously get this really nice fruitiness. I think that's one thing that really sets this one apart from the other beers in this box. It's a lot of dark fruit, a lot of cherry, as well as, what you see in a lot of other Black Tuesdays. It's heavy on vanilla, and it's even a little bit of like toasted marshmallow. So it's a little bit warming, but exactly what I would expect from this beer. It tastes perfect. It's just warming enough, but not overly hot. It's very nice.
As a brewer, I remember the first Black Tuesday that we had finished bottling was the Black Tuesday that I got to work on in like my first week when we started. And so that Black Tuesday coming out of those barrels, getting everything filtered, getting it bottled, and then being able to drink that. I mean, Black Tuesday is an incredible beer. But when you've put the work into it and you've kind of seen the process, like it's so smooth and warm, and it's kind of like the bottle is saying, you did a good job. I'm going to be drinking the Black Tuesday Scotch Barrel Aged. The taste of it is, it's delicious. Decent amount of smoke, nice and warm, but also very smooth. I don't feel like I get that heat like drinking a Scotch, but I definitely get that flavor, get that smoke, a lot of good oak, really dark like fruit leather, which really is coming more from the Black Tuesday than the barrels, but a lot of great flavors and a good balance, I think, with that smoke on it. So this version of our Black Tuesday in Scotch barrels was actually aged in Speyside barrels. And for anybody who drinks Scotch, they know that depending on where in Scotland that specific barrel of Scotch came from, you're going to get a lot of different flavors. From a Highland to Speyside to Islay, you're going to get these different flavors. In a Speyside, you're still going to get smoke. You're still going to get a lot of like robust flavor, but you're not going to get that peaty, salty, overwhelming smoky flavor that you might get in some heavier smoky Scotches. So the Speyside adds a great character to it without being overwhelming.
I'm drinking the Black Tuesday aged in Ozzoloro sherry barrels. I think it was in there for about 18 months. This is pretty special, I believe, because I really don't remember too many variants of Black Tuesday in sherry, much less any really imperial stouts in sherry. So amazingly off the nose is just a ton of sherry, a ton of almost like sweet, almost like candied blackberry. I don't know, it's a weird description, but like candy and blackberry, really sweet, really caramely. Candied sugar, candied caramel, almost reminiscent of Werther's when you eat it together with fruit at the same time. You make a little sandwich. You ever make a little Werther sandwich? No? It's pretty amazing. What this beer, time spent in the barrel does, I really believe it's pulling more of the sherry flavor and more of the sweetness, and that's kind of impacting the perceived body, where I feel like the body's still there, it's still pretty thick, but that sweetness also kind of comes across as thinning out the body, if that makes any sense. Carbonation in beers like this are always going to be perceived as a little bit lower, so I think that also doesn't dry it out, because carbonation can kind of dry out the palate. So I think this is really fantastic. I think it's really thick, but it's perceived a little bit lighter body-wise than normal Black Tuesday.
So what I have here is a bottle of Black Tuesday that's cognac barrel aged. We decided to give it some of that yak. So as you pour it into the glass, you can already tell after swirling that it has some really sexy legs coming on it. That barrel treatment really gave it something special. You get like a very nice like vinous sort of aroma coming off of this, mixed with some like serious heat. And that's what we're going for. Like, we want big, we want bold. This is Black Tuesday, it's not Wimpy Wednesday. It's definitely in your face. You definitely get like some caramelized sugar in there, some like even saturated grape stem. It's such a welcoming aroma for such a big beer. It isn't quite as thick as Micah, but it's probably about 2/3 of the way there. And again, that barrel heat just really transfers on the palate. And you're still getting a lot of that caramelized sugar. You're getting like candied date on this even. There might even be a note of fig. The barrel again expresses itself really well. I think cognac was an excellent choice for this. How often do you find a cognac barrel aged anything that's not cognac? You know what I mean? As Keith was saying earlier with one of the other variants, the carbonation does come off like not very high. And it's kind of perfect because you don't want to take all that flavor off of the palate. You want the tongue to get soaked with that luscious, velvety sort of barrel plus beer minus everything else. Like, this is just an expression of what wood and beer can do together.